Islam Moors. This is Tyler Ambrose Ali. Today is June the 19th, 2019. I am bringing you this live broadcast from the territory known as Sparks, Nevada. And again, I am Tyler Ambrose Ali. I am in proprio persona, in si juris, in proprio sola, and in proprio heredis at all points in time. I am a Moorish American national, or you can say I am a Moor. However, whatever floats your boat or makes you feel comfortable. I present it however I feel at that point in time when I am advising an individual or party or person or whoever, whatever, who I am and what I am. Thus, I welcome you to Stand on Your Square Productions. I want to take a few seconds here before I get into the topic today. At no point, at any time, ever, is any material provided legal advice. I never provide legal advice. I only provide facts. And if those facts happen to be lawful, and these facts that I provide are facts that I do and have done for the last, we'll say 7 years, 2013 to 2019, it's around 7 years. But the point is, I've been using this material and I have been keeping it to myself, and I wish to share. All right? So, hey, let's get into it. So, I'm not sure if my audience today has been following. For the month of June, I have been working closely with, or I should say, negotiating terms with a corporation within Sparks, Nevada known as Rail City. The company's name is Affinity Gaming, but they do business as Rail City. In any event, I went through the interview process on June the 13th and was hired and was forwarded over to the Human Resources Department on June the 14th to begin the onboard process. This is where all this applies and ties in. First of all, really quick, when you're in your proper person and you're not a piece of property or something on a piece of paper, you're in proprio persona. You're in si juris. You're in your proper person. You've declared or proclaimed your nativity, however you want to lay it out. Having said that, there are instances that we've all been taught, and even at one point or another may or may not have used. Okay? The point and the direction I'm going in is this 9-digit number called the Social Security number. To me, and from my everyday usage from 2013 to present, June the 19th, 2019 and beyond, that number does not apply to me. And the reason is I was born February the 7th, 1978. That was the date that I came through the Asiatic womb here to the North Gate. That's basically when the historical event took place. You know, this baby boy, now of age of majority, was birthed and arose on this land. Therefore, anything provided to me that I did not specifically sign up for, demand, request, or submit documentation for does not apply to me. Case in point, yeah, of course, the date that I was born, obviously I can't control that. However, an individual, and in this instance it is mom, signing documents under whatever pretenses it might have been, rather if she knew or didn't know, that's beside the point at this point in 2019. The point being is that the document she affixed her signature to doesn't apply to me. And that means that if the 9-digit number came from this, why would I use the number in 2019 if it simply does not apply to me? Islam, and you understand you're a Moor or a Moorish American national. You were born free and clear. You don't have a 9-digit number from the security of Social Security, or the administration called Social Security. You wouldn't have that. All right. Moving forward with the onboard process, the background check. Everyone that knows that applies for a JOB has to go through this process. Okay. I was extended the opportunity to rebut the background check, which I did. You know, I stand on my square at all points in time, and I'm able to look right into this camera and tell all of my audience I confidently, not nowhere near as nervously, but confidently stand on my square, especially when I'm going to negotiate terms with a place called employment, job, employer, POE, okay? If I'm bartering my time in exchange for this fake fiat currency, at least let me go ahead and receive all of it. All right, which brings me to my next point. The form called W4, they ask for this number, this 9-digit number. Okay, when it comes to that, when it comes to this guy here, I write Baby Act / religious objection. Or you could write religious objection / Baby Act. In any event, the individual that you provide this to, it's known, especially the Internal Revenue Service. Their office knows, okay? They do fall under the umbrella of the United States Corporation, okay? Especially if they are a third-party contractor acting as if they are Internal Revenue, yet it's some people that were hired to go to this office over here on the corner, and they say they're the IRS, pay us or else, all right? The point being is that it comes down to, I'm learning to not call them contracts anymore, which is right. So we'll say presentment. The presentment on a piece of paper called W4, when I receive it, where it asks for the signature to agree to the terms, I write, I do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time. The Buck Act of 1940. All right. And I make sure that that's very clear. And I even make a fake smiley, or a little small smiley face next to the signature and put the date. Okay. There's a box on this same W4 document that asks for exemption. And I write in very small letters, do not write exemption here. As far as dependents, make up a number. Just do not put 0, 1, 2, or 3. Make up a number. Okay. Remember, whatever you put on this document, it's going to be null and void anyway because there is no contract. You can't have a contract with fraud, and not to mention when you specifically imply in writing, and now also verbal, because you've advised the human resources that you're filling the document out for, I don't do this process. Now you're writing it up. So that's 2 times that you've served notice that this does not apply to you. So then at that point, if anything beyond that, it's threat, duress, or coercion. You guys, the contract is wanting to be signed under the impression of threat, duress, or coercion. I don't even want to use the word impression. I want to say that if that is ever the case with any document where your signature is demanded and they had to pump you up, or I call it game you, to make you believe this is what you have to have and you can't make an informed decision and agree with it, the signature was demanded in the presence of coercion. The signature was demanded in the presence of coercion. You would write that on the signature line and give it back. You can even draw a sad face next to where you wrote that on the signature line. And it's letting the individuals know, hey, this person obviously had there's obviously some sort of a discrepancy or dispute or a concern. We need to bring this person into the office. And that's the point when you have to stand on your motherfucking square. Islam? So, having said that, the corporation known as Affinity Gaming advised me, okay, that's great that you don't contract with the Internal Revenue. However, to work here, everyone has to be under or paying taxes for Internal Revenue. Okay, so now I have to advise this person, now it will be 3 times verbally, I do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service, and I'm advising in writing on the W4 presentment. And the young lady's response is not verbatim what I'm saying because this was yesterday, okay? But I'm doing my damnedest to be as accurate as possible, okay? Just suffice it to say the young lady's response was, that's fine. Legally, you don't need to provide a social to work, and you don't need to provide a W4 to seek employment or work either. So I will give you your W4 that you provided us back. However, once you get hired, you must be signed up with Internal Revenue and paying taxes. Okay, so having said that, I'm just going to get right into it. All right, I have, and these documents are provided so graciously and so nicely, well laid out, well put out by the Moorish American Consulate. If you're in the Moorish American Consulate, any Amexem Facebook group, you are able to refer to the files section and also pick these documents up for yourself. So the first one here, it is titled Workers Verified Affidavit, very important, affidavit to terminate Form W-4 agreement or its equivalent, what she said, and notice to terminate withholding authorization. Okay, and basically it's been written out to Affinity Gaming, and let's go ahead and zoom in there, guys. Okay, there's the title, as we can see at the top. All right, and we have that. And again, I am Tyler Ambrose Ali, as we know. Okay, and really quick, some case study here. No law requires a private sector worker to file a W-4 form or its equivalent. In U.S. versus Mobile Oil Company, 82-1 U.S. TC Para 9242, U.S. DC ND Tex Dallas 1981 CA, and then a period, 3-80-0438-G as in girl. States the court ruled that a company does not even have to send a W-4 form or other employment forms to the Internal Revenue Service unless served with a judicial court-ordered summons to do so. Okay, did you guys just pick that up? It says again, the court ruled that a company does not even have to send a W-4 form or other employment forms to the Internal Revenue Service unless served with a judicial court-ordered summons to do so. So that means all these years, guys, even though we're just now waking up, we're just now coming into overstanding our place in the community where we're docked what our status is. We've been taught to just fill out the form and involuntarily just pay it. Just pay taxes. Well, I'm here to let you know, guys, since 2013, I have known from statistics, historic facts, and research, firsthand knowledge out in the field, trying with different employers throughout the state of Nevada, especially in a county known as Clark, which anyone from the territory known as Nevada, they know Clark County is Las Vegas. Okay, and if anyone there knows, they know that it's very different, and pretty much they don't play. So if I was able to understand the process and conduct the field experiments specifically to make sure I understand, why wouldn't I share that? You receive your entire paycheck minus maybe $6. Why wouldn't you share that with your other brothers and sisters? Why? We're all attempting to wake up and utilize the knowledge and the material because we all possess it in one way or another to reclaim our land. But the only way we can do this process is if we do it lawfully and even at times judicially. You stay in your square, how can you go wrong? Again, I even emphasized this earlier. Even if you get nervous because it's new territory, you have a script. You have a script. Read the script. That's all you got to do. They might tell you to shut up, or it's not your turn. When it's your turn, continue on where you left off. You on the script. That's why it's a script. That's why a lot of jobs use a script. I understand it now. I didn't back then, but now I do. Moving on. This is my official notice and demand to the company to cease the non-consensual taking from my pay without explicit voluntary written consent. This is from the Moorish American Consulate, guys. Okay, from the group page. I never used this. I just went in and simply wrote on my document, I do not wish to contract with the Internal Revenue Service at this time. The Buck Act of 1940, a smiley face, religious objection or Baby Act where they ask for the social. My dependents, I put 15, or put up some crazy number. I put 15 in the box where it says exempt. I write in small letters, do not write exempt here, so no one will write the words exempt. If you put exempt, you're still contracting with Internal Revenue. You don't want to allow an employer to talk you into saying, okay, we'll go ahead and not have them deduct, but we'll put you as exempt. Exempt is still forming a contract. You want no contract. The way how you know you did it right is at the end of the year when you receive your W-2s in the mail, when you open it up and you look at it in the federal box, it will be blank. That's how you know you did it correct. All right. right? And I'm telling you from firsthand experience and firsthand knowledge, guys, to use it. Get your free checks. I call them free checks because there's no unlawful tax taken. It's already a fiat currency that doesn't apply to you. But, you know, since it's easier to do that in most instances until you get your stuff all the way up, till you get your declaration of trust and your allodial trust and whatever other documents that you need to have to continue to keep you staying on your square and then some, you might have to play that game. And if you're going to play that game, at least get paid your worth. All right. I've rambled way too much and I didn't intend to do that. This is a simple 2-page document. We're looking over, again, the workers verified affidavit and notice to terminate Form W-4 agreement or its equivalent, and notice to terminate withholding authorization. This is a 2-page affidavit, guys. Something I want to point out, okay? I understand notary is not needed. However, I write this when it asks for notary, okay? This helps and it works, and they reluctantly accept it because it's organic law. Here we go. Now, if you notice, it's asking for notary public, and I stated notary not present. This affidavit is sufficient when affirming status of a process or operation of organic law. And I notated it and I endorsed it. And June the 19th. Now that's it for that document. Okay, that's it for that one. Hang on a second, guys. That's the end of that document. And then our next document is, oh shit, is that it? Okay, so then the next set of documents is, this would be the third notice. Third notice, notice of dishonor, of notice of termination in W-4 withholding agreement. Guys, you got to understand, when you submit the original W-4 within the onboard packet, that's your first warning right there. That's your first advisement of, hey, this doesn't apply to me. So you stated it once by writing it. When you submit it and they see it, they're going to come back and have the manager try to be the big dog with you. So now that's 2 times. Now this document I just read was the 3rd time. This one is saying it's the 3rd time when actually you gave them 4 separate advisements publicly that this does not apply to me. So if you turn around after that and they threaten you and say, hey, you want this job, agree to it, and you sign it, you agreed to a contract under threat, duress, or coercion, and it's not valid. So it's very important to stand your square. Okay, this basically says, dear payroll representatives and all others in corporation, on June the 19th, verbally you were served notice, and it goes into it. It goes right into it, guys. I'm running out of time here as far as the time on this tape. My light is flashing here, and basically suffice it, I make these statements under and in good faith. Okay, and it asks for notary on this document as well. And I sign documents in a way to where in case a person tries to be fraudulent and delete my signature or cover some shit up, because that's what I'm used to, I write it diagonal. Same thing with the thumbprint. I write it diagonal in the thumbprint so that way you can see. We don't need no damn notary. You don't need no damn notary. All right, so let's button this up here, guys. The last couple pages here, which is 3 quick pages, which it is the I-9 USCS eligibility verification form. And I want to tell you something, guys. I wrote my appellation on my form, and let me show it to you. Now, as you see at the top far left, I wrote it out how it is to be declared publicly. And remember, you're serving public notice to Homeland Security. Wow, look at that. You're showing them I'm not a U.S. citizen because I don't have a social. My email address doesn't apply. My address is in care of and in brackets, so I'm out of the jurisdiction. I showed you the date of birth that the vessel was born. I'm also indicating in a very clear red X, very clear, a non-citizen national of the United States. Somebody tried to advise me months ago that that is still a U.S. citizen, but it specifically says a non-citizen. Okay, so that person, I'm not sure if they were steering me right or if they were just trying to make me only look at one thing and one thing only at a time. It didn't really help. I wanted to know why and how come, so that way when I'm utilizing and standing on my square, I know why. Personally, I chose to list, there was a preparer that helped prepare this document, and I chose to put down the nom de guerre because the nom de guerre did prepare the document legally. They can't do shit. What are they going to do? Okay. The young lady did advise me, if you're not going to mark USA, she did advise me on a document. If you're not going to use or mark United States citizen, please include the document. She was like, you know that it says documents that you'll need. So now, guys, with that being said, the I-9 form is 3 documents. I give you page 3 that advises you what is acceptable. That's it already. We just don't think outside the box. So here we go. Now, if you notice, this is page 3 of 3. You see that? Okay. All right. So now, documents that establish identity. You see number 2, ID card issued by, and it says federal, state, or local government agencies or entities, provided it contains a photograph, information such as your name, date of birth, gender, height, eye color, and address. You see number 8 there, it says Native American tribal document. You guys possess this. You're a Moorish American national. You're in your proper person at all points in time. You reach out to your Moorish American consulate. Hey guys, I need a document stating that, I'm a Native American, or I have I'm a native to the land. I need a tribal document. The fact that the Moorish American Empire, you're on Moroccan soil and you receive a document from your judiciary team, you're covered. Look what it asks for in List C. Native American Tribal Document, number 4. Number 7, Employment Authorization Document issued by Homeland Security. So now I am, from what I'm showing, I'm establishing Tyler Ambrose Ali as not a U.S. citizen using the Homeland Security documents, using they shit. This is they shit that they gave, and I just let them know what it is. That's all I did. I just let them know what it is. And it asked for citizenship or immigration status, and I put Moorish American national at Morocco. I mean, what? What are they going to do? And these documents that I just shared with you guys, we're going to button it up here, but the documents just shared with you is what I emailed back over to Affinity Gaming, doing business as Rail City, the human resources representative. You know how they email you 10 different things telling you, hey, you better or else, hey, do this background check, hey, fill this X75 form out. If you ever hear me say X75 form, that's a useless form, a form with no authority, no jurisdiction behind it. But yet if you fearing because you don't know what is what and what applies to you and what doesn't, it's an X75 form, okay? Anyway, the point of the story is I use the email address from the young lady that I've spoken to from the Human Resources Department and forwarded right back. And then I happen to be very anal and I follow up on my stuff. And I waited exactly 9 minutes. 9 represents I. I waited 9 minutes exactly and resubmitted the email and said, this is email number 2. The first email came at 12:30 p.m. specifically, exactly, and this is your second email coming to you also on June the 19th, 2019 at 12:39 p.m. And it included everything that was included in the first one. So for any reason they didn't get it, or because I may have forwarded or not forwarded the email a time or two, whatever, we want to make sure they have a clean copy with all of their attachments. And at this point, there's not much else to say. The job has already been presented to me and offered to me. I already mentally prepared, like, hey, they're going to have you doing whatever it is they come up with. Make sure that you get your full worth at least. All right, you play their game like them, how they do it, but only better, baby. Am I lying? All right, Islam. I believe that I've spoken the time that's allotted to me on this platform here today. And peace and love, and I will see you guys down the road on the next broadcast. Peace and love.